The story begins aboard the deep space exploration vessel Axiom 7, a silent craft operated by the United Earth Strategic Recon Corps. On board are 4 specialists: Commander Rylas Kale, AI engineer Mira Novak, xenobiologist Dr. Ezra Dawn, and security tactician Lennox Graves. Their mission was never public. Their destination wasn't on any civilian star maps. 12 hours before arrival, the crew receives a data burst from Earth, a repeating signal emanating from beneath the crust of Charon 9. Not random noise. A structure. A pulse. A message in binary repeating every 47 minutes. Someone or something is still active below the moon's surface. Commander Kale sits in the dark cockpit, staring at the moon's distant shadowed horizon as Axiom 7 drifts closer. Through the observation glass, jagged ridges and icy dust storms cloak a broken surface. Yet deep scans confirm metallic formations below. The atmosphere is too thin to breathe, but the crust, hollow in parts, suggests artificial design. Dr. Dawn prepares his equipment, loading samples from prior recon missions that suggested a strange biological residue, non-terrestrial, reactive to magnetism. Mira, the AI engineer, reviews anomalies in the onboard systems. Static interference. Minor shutdowns. But all occurring precisely every 47 minutes, matching the signal. As the crew suits up, the camera would show external stabilizers humming, ice crystals breaking against the hull. Lennox loads his weapon, protocol, but unnecessary for a dead moon. Yet his hand trembles. The descent shuttle, Argus 1, detaches. Silence fills the comms. The only sound is the mechanical whisper of landing thrusters as they pierce Charon 9's atmosphere. Dust spirals. The landing is rough. Instruments flicker. For a moment, everything blacks out. When power returns, they're on the surface. The landscape is jagged and unnatural. Like something below forced its way out, then froze in time. An ancient dome, half buried in obsidian-like stone, looms before them. A large alien glyph pulsates faintly on its surface. Suddenly, the binary signal stops. Silence again. Until the glyph begins to glow brighter, and then it speaks, broadcasting directly into their comms. The crew of Argus 1 stands before the alien dome, buried halfway into Charon 9's crust. Its black surface is smooth, unnaturally so, made of no known Earth metal. At the center, the glowing glyph pulses steadily. The moment it broadcasted welcome home, it ceased all activity. Dead again. But different. Commander Rylas Kale steps forward, scanning the glyph with his arm-mounted interpreter. No language detected. No energy source traceable. The material shouldn't conduct power, yet the glyph glows alive. He reaches forward. Lennox grabs his arm. Using their own voices. Mira Novak interrupts. Her AI systems are showing a strange loop. Her headset plays a broken whisper, fragments of a voice. Not from the glyph. From beneath them. Dr. Ezra Dawn kneels beside the structure, brushing away the frost. His sensor spikes. Beneath their feet, the seismic scanner activates unexpectedly. A single line appears on their screens, like a heartbeat. Then the ground trembles. A low vibration pulses from beneath the dome. Dust rises in slow motion. The glyph flares, and with a hiss that shouldn't exist in a near vacuum, a circular segment of the dome begins rotating, grinding against itself. A hidden entrance is opening. The team steps back, weapons raised. Kale signals silence. The hatch completes its turn, revealing a deep tunnel sloping down into the crust, its walls lined with faintly luminescent material, organic yet geometric, like veins woven with machine precision. Reluctantly, they descend. Inside, the temperature changes rapidly. From bitter cold to unnatural warmth. The tunnel feels wrong, dimensions shift subtly. Depth sensors glitch. Time seems to lag. Even sound warps. Their footsteps echo out of sync, and Lennox swears he sees a shadow at the end of the corridor, but it's gone in a blink. Suddenly, the walls flicker. Not lights, memories. Flash images burned into the alien alloy. In seconds, they see visuals of creatures, tall, multi-limbed, with crystalline skin and pulsating cores. One scene shows them constructing the dome. Another fighting each other in a blinding civil war. And one more, dying. Not from battle, but from something they awakened. At the end of the corridor, a large chamber opens. Floating in its center is a suspended object egg-shaped, pulsing faintly with orange light. But it's not alien. It's human. A cryopod. Of Earth origin. Dated 2137. But someone was. Suddenly, the pod emits a pulse, and everything blacks out. Comms. Lights. Even Myra's AI shuts down mid-sentence. For 7 seconds, they hear breathing deep and alien. Then a voice. Not from their comms, not from their translator, but in their own minds. The lights flicker violently, strobe-like pulses reflecting across the obsidian walls of the chamber. Myra's AI interface reboots with fragmented data. Her HUD scrambles, and then stabilizes, but not in the way she expects. A new interface has overridden her neural lens. Words appear, cognitive sync initiated. She stumbles back, clutching her skull. Lennox scans the perimeter, weapon drawn. His instincts scream, they are not alone. Not in this chamber. Not in this moon. Something invisible is watching. Studying. Waiting. The walls begin to shimmer again, not with ancient memories, but with mirrors of the crew. 4 distorted reflections appear, each twisted slightly. A corrupted version. As if the moon is trying to understand them, by becoming them. Kale moves closer to the pod. Through the cracked window, he sees a young woman, maybe 25, unmoving, yet her neural crown is lit, active. The glyphs on the floor begin to rotate, forming a spiral. Gravity shifts subtly. Ezra loses balance. Suddenly, a shriek pierces their ears, unheard through air, but felt through bone. The walls pulse, not with color, but with emotion. Rage. Pain. Grief. The pod surges with energy, and the woman's eyes snap open. Her mouth doesn't move, but they hear her voice. Kale feels a pressure inside his skull. Visions flood his mind: alien cities buried under moons, symbiotic machines devouring civilizations, and a singular entity of pure thought that turned against its creators. It called itself Vorax. And it wasn't killed. It was imprisoned, inside this moon. The chamber wasn't a lab. It was a vault. A prison forged with living minds. Arlie, suddenly, Mira collapses. Her heartbeat spikes. Her eyes roll back, and when she speaks again, her voice is no longer her own. The lights go dark again. But the chamber door behind them doesn't seal. It opens, revealing a vast stairway descending deeper, beneath the moon's surface, lined with pulsing lights and alien architecture. Kale steadies himself and speaks with iron in his voice. The massive stairway yawns open beneath their feet, carved not by hands, but by something else, precision grown, not built. The architecture pulses like a living artery, veins of orange and violet light coursing along the edges. The material is neither metal nor stone. It breathes. Commander Kale leads the way, flanked by Lennox. Their boots echo with unnatural delay, as if time resists their descent. Mira walks slower now. Her breathing is heavy. Her pupils dilate at random intervals. Since the last chamber, she's been different. Quieter. As if something watches through her eyes. Dr. Ezra Dawn is recording every scan. His instruments keep failing, each failure happening in a pattern every 47 seconds now, not 47 minutes. He notices it. And he's terrified. Kale halts. His visor picks up motion, just a flicker, down the staircase. Not a shadow. A reflection. Like a mirror walked across the wall. As they descend further, the temperature shifts again, from warmth to intense cold, then back. Biological impossibility. But their suits don't register environmental cause. It's psychological. The vault is triggering memory imprints. Each crew member sees something different in the shifting wall patterns. Kale sees his childhood home, burning on a Martian colony outpost. Ezra sees the face of a brother who died in an Earth lab accident. Lennox sees himself, older, sitting in a wheelchair, whispering secrets to a child with black eyes. Mira sees nothing. Just herself, staring back, smiling, eyes wrong. At the base of the staircase, they enter a chamber unlike the others, wider, domed, silent. In the center floats a rotating construct, circular, fractal, seemingly made of light and dark matter. Suspended above it, a ring of metallic artifacts, like orbiting sentinels. The moment they step in, the doors seal behind them. Suddenly, the suspended woman in the cryopod, whom Mira called the Voice, appears not in physical form, but as a projection. Flickering. Shifting between human and something crystalline. She speaks. Mira screams as the artifact fuses into her chest, no blood, no explosion, just assimilation. She collapses. Kale and Lennox rush forward, but a psychic wave pushes them back. Mira rises. Her voice now dual-toned. Hers and something else. The chamber stands frozen. Mira, now partially fused with the Vorix artifact, stares at the team with eyes no longer fully hers. The orange light pulses behind her pupils, flickering with strange rhythm. The orb embedded in her chest glows with the same hue as the dormant constructs surrounding the vault. Commander Kale doesn't lower his weapon. Not because of fear, but because of duty. He stares at her. The woman who was once his engineer. His friend. What have they done to you? He asks quietly. Lennox slowly circles to the side, eyeing the remaining constructs above. 5 still float, orbiting silently. The 6th is embedded in Mira. Suddenly, the floor beneath them splits open, petal-like structures retract, revealing a spiraling path downward, glowing with pulsating threads of organic energy. The Vorix-merged Mira speaks again. Kale hesitates. But the chamber starts responding to her voice. The atmosphere thickens. Gravity bends subtly. The vault does not want them to leave. Not yet. Kale gives the silent nod. The team descends the spiral into what the archive calls the living gate. Each step into the core layers of the vault brings a strange sensation, forgotten memories surface, some not even their own. Kale remembers holding a daughter he never had. Ezra sees oceans he's never visited. Lennox relives a battlefield, on a planet that doesn't exist. As they reach the final chamber, they find a colossal ring, its surface embedded with millions of tiny lights that resemble neurons. Floating at its center is a pulsating black sphere. Mira steps forward. Her voice low. Suddenly, the gate flickers, scanning each of them. Mira steps forward, placing her palm on a floating terminal. The gate responds. Rings begin rotating, aligning in impossible geometries. The black sphere grows in intensity, flickering with every thought echoing through the room. But before anyone can act, the gate releases a pulse. The world vanishes into white light. No sound. No motion. Just memory flooding in. 1,000 alien voices whispering in unison.